Alright, I'm going to do kind of a different video. Got these little orchid guys here. Get a better view of that. Some little tiny Phalaeonopsis. They're on sale for like, was it like buy two get one? So it's like, what is that, about, I don't know, $7 each, something like that, $6.50 each. Not too bad. Orchids can get a little expensive. But what ends up happening, like if you buy an orchid in a pot like this, they usually come with these stupid little like plastic pots around them. And you don't want to keep them in them because they will kill the plant. So I'm just going to cut it, take it out of this thing. It's just not good for it. Now, not everyone can do what I'm going to do in this video because you do need to be in a warmer, humid climate. Kind of grow these outside, but you can see how they have these. Let me grab my phone. You can see how their roots are kind of like, they're definitely like root bound in that little pot, and they're kind of going up, and they run around and search for places to attach to. So orchids are epiphytes, I believe, is what they're called. They stick to trees, and they live in the canopies or up along, the bark of the tree, and they get their nutrients just through being passive that way and grabbing stuff from what's on the tree. So if you're in a climate where you can't keep them outside, you can put them in little wooden pots like this. Is what I would recommend. And you can kind of see the roots, how they like attach to everything. I probably should have moved this before because it's wrapped around that metal grate. Not really going to hurt the plant too much. So if I had to move this is going to pop off and break. It'll be fine. It'll grow out of it. So you can see in here, I have some like orchid moss. You can get it at like Home Depot or whatever. The orchid moss kind of helps retain moisture around the roots. I don't think it really needs it. At least not in my area. It doesn't need it. See, this other one was starting to pop out there. But then like within the orchid moss, you can buy like some pine bark or like the orchid bark, which I think is like cedar or something actually. See, I just have this stuff around. Let's see, does it say what kind of, oh, fir bark nuggets, yeah. This is from Better Grow. It's actually Sunbulb in Arcadia, Florida that produces that stuff, and they've got a pretty old orchid operation there, so they know what they're doing with their orchids. Yeah, so like I just kind of like mix them together in these wooden pots and keep them in the shade, like dappled light, and they seem to do pretty good. It took me a while to figure out how to do that, but here's another pot I have here. You can put them in clay pots too. They seem to do fine as long as they got like holes in them for the roots to come out. You need kind of big holes like that. Now I would never put an orchid in a plastic pot because I don't think they can really attach to the plastic that well, and like they get their nutrients from things that they attach to. So I really don't think that that's a good idea. But so let me go grab this guy. So we're gonna find a new home for him. And let's take these little stakes off. Don't need these. I'm gonna put this on the floor. You can stare at my feet for a minute here. But I'm just gonna pull the stake out. Actually, let's get this off. Don't want to hurt the flowers. I don't really care about the flowers too much at this point. Really, I need both hands. I don't really care about the flowers too much at this point because I just want the plant to attach to whatever I'm going to put it on. So you can kind of see this root started to rot out there. That's from being in that little tiny crappy pot. So I'm just going to pull off all that dead material. Let's see, what does our little structure look like here? Looks pretty good. So I'm going to take some twine and we're going to go over to a tree. So I can show kind of what I've been working on. Oh yeah, and I wouldn't use treated wood either for putting orchids on. Probably shouldn't use treated wood for fruiting plants either, because it has this post here. I think nowadays it's not as bad, but they used to use arsenic for to treat wood with. I think nowadays they use like some kind of copper mixture, which is also not great. But just have them attached to your trees, right? It's the best way to do it. So you can see over here, these are about 1 year attached to the tree. And they don't need support after a while. So I like to use the twine, because the twine is just, it'll degrade, or, you know, it'll just become some source of moisture for the orchid over time. But this is kind of what they look like naturally. They run down the tree. You can see another one I got out of one of those pots. Literally just strapped it to the tree, and those roots get in there and wrap around. So like, you got to decide which tree to put these things on too. So because they attach to the surface, you don't necessarily want to put these on a tree that has peeling bark. So like, I would never put these on like a jabo or any other myrtle tree. Just something that kind of like expands over time, I think. Actually, I got a vanilla orchid in here too that's doing pretty good. Let's see. There's some of it right there. They got thrashed in the hurricane last year and got detached. And yeah, here's the vanilla orchids attached right there. So the loquats are really good choices for putting orchids in. I think what I want to try this time though is a mango tree. So we've got this Valencia Pride. I got to think about where would I want to put this at in this tree. Just come around and look at it from a different perspective. Where is it going to get too much light? Because it'll get fried up if it gets too much light. And then also, like, what branches am I going to prune off? I'm thinking probably right there where it died back 1 year. There's a pretty good amount of space. So something like this. Oh, I still have a little stake in here I need to pull out. Hold on. It's hard to do with one hand. I'm thinking something like this, right? You can kind of get the roots to touch whatever it's going to be on. Kind of encourage it a little bit, maybe even like that, right? So I've got it here. I'm going to get as much surface area to touch the roots as possible. Let me see if I can. I should have brought like a stand or something. But let's see. Can I kind of shove that? Yeah, like that would be good, right? Let's see. If you can get it to where it like sits on there without a lot of help, that's like optimal, I think. Like I'm thinking like that, right? So this is a lot harder to do with one hand. I'm just gonna kind of shove it into that, and then yeah, so that's kind of a good spot. So it wants to sit there without falling over, but it will fall over in a gust of wind. So that's what I got the twine for. So I'm just gonna wrap it up with this, and the roots will grow over it. It'll be fine, because this is just a cloth fiber. It's not plastic or anything like that. Just gonna really shove that in there. And these things are really strong. Like, orchids are super hardy, relatively. But let me put the phone down for a second. If y'all see anything cool down there, let me know. I'm gonna wrap it up. And I don't tie it too tight, because I don't want to girdle the tree. And if it looks like it's girdling the tree, I'll just take it off. But by the time this thing is attached, it, I'm just going to kind of I should be able to cut it. I used to use these Velcro strips, and I found that what would end up happening is the plant would hook into it, and it would be hard to get the plastic out. And if I can't get the cloth out, I'm not too worried about it. But plastic, I really don't want to have it hanging around. Here, I'm almost done tying this up. I know it's not super exciting looking at the green down there, but I need both hands. So let's see, just tying a knot real quick. And honestly, I'll just leave this whole string here. I'm not even going to cut it. It just needs to be enough to where it's not gonna fall apart. So, yeah, there we go. So it's not like on there super tight. I didn't even tie a knot. I just, you know, kind of made it to where it's got like a little cradle. And honestly, in a month or two, I can probably take this off, and you can see it's like not on there too tight either. Like I can move this up and down. This is a little firm, but yeah, so I'll do that with the other couple of orchids. I think this is a good spot because it'll get some dappled light and some sun. So, yeah, probably time of day would it get sun, like noonish, and then the rest of the day it should be pretty shaded. So kind of a weird video for you know, about fruit trees, but it's always cool to have like little companion plants to put in your fruit trees just to change things up. And I guess that's pretty much it. Anyways, take care, y'all.